Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our show, Option Forward. I am Drew, always joined by the second half of the show, GQ Nesto. How you doing today?
What it do? I'm doing awesome. God is good.
For sure. And today we have a special guest. I wanted to invite someone on the show who can dig deep, go beneath the surface level and reveal some things about ourselves that can benefit us in the future. All right. And maybe you can learn something from this. Maybe something you can talk about with your family and friends. But also I want to know what lottery numbers to play when I leave here today. Maybe you can help me with that. But welcome to the show. Delia, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Okay. How was the drive? Is traffic bad?
No, it was wonderful. For some reason, I drove on Angeles Crest Highway, the number 2 highway. And, you just got this beautiful view of of nature. So I enjoyed it.
And you are in tune with nature? That's your
thing?
For
very
sure.
into it.
and so that kind of leads into what we, why you're here today as our guest. Can you tell the listeners and viewers a little bit about yourself? Where are you from? Where'd you grow up?
Well, I am from LA, the heart of LA, South Central, but I live in Palmdale for the past 10 years.
Okay. Antelope Valley. Right?
Yeah.
For sure. It's hot out there.
I love the weather. Can't compare to any other weather.
You like the weather?
I do.
So you like being hot?
No, it's hot, but you have this fresh breeze as opposed to coming out to LA. It's hot, but it's sticky and humid. And yeah, the Antelope Valley is just clean.
For sure.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay.
Sorry, LA.
No, it's good. So, GQ Nesto, like I was explaining to you prior to us starting our session today, he's into numbers and knowing what things mean. Hey, I just dreamed about this. Let me Google it right quick. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I hate telling him what I dreamed about because he's going to Google it while we're on the phone and he's going to and I'm like, bro, just chill. Just let it be.
I need to
whatever
know.
it be. All right. But you are a psychic medium. Is that correct?
I am.
All right.
Yes.
So tell us about that. At what age did you recognize that things were a little bit different for you?
Okay. Well, first, I love that you research. I love that because it's nothing like just educating yourself and just kind of learning on your own, instead of trying to go with someone what does this mean?
I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I wasn't crazy.
I consider myself self-made. I'm a self-made psychic medium because everything that I know, I taught myself. So I was 19 when I learned about these abilities and skills, and it was through reading about astrology, personology, but something deeper, which was numerology.
Okay.
And I learned that I'm an Otso and that I am here for a bigger purpose. And it all made sense because ever since I was a child, I will feel people's energy. I'll come around someone and I'll get anxiety. Later come to find out that they were living in the Eagle, just really bad people. Or I'll come across a place, a location, and I'll just my stomach would hurt and I'll just feel unsafe there. And, later come to find out something tragic happened there. Okay. Or, when you meet someone and you're just I don't like that person. Something about them, they're fake. And later on you come to find out that they are kind of fake. So it all made sense to me why I always felt energy and why I was so sensitive. So it started as a child, but it wasn't confirmed till I was 19, till I dived into numerology.
Did they kind of hate you throughout that process before they found out you weren't bullshitting and that you were actually? Because I have a sister that she's always I feel energy, and sometimes I'm like, dude, you're just complaining. So I'm just so sometimes I'm shit, but she gets really anxious when she feels those things, and I think probably I want to say like maybe 2 years, I started actually believing her, and I was like, oh shit, hold on, let me research your feelings real quick. And like honestly, like is that something that I want to say it's like taboo or kind of like I wouldn't say it like just people don't understand those feelings, like especially like your family, close friends. Like, how did you deal with that?
I don't think I ever really shared that. I think like growing up, I hate saying this, I hate when people be like, I had haters. I don't like saying that, but it all made sense, like why certain people didn't like me or I didn't like them. I never really expressed to people like, I just felt bad about her. Yeah, my family, as far as I can remember, I've always been the black sheep, so it's just kind of like, take it for what it is. It's who I am, and you could expect anything from me. They just accepted me,
Nice.
So,
that's
so you say,
superpowers.
yeah, that is. It's pretty dope. But you say you were self-taught. So is it more of, all right, you open up a book, you study it, so now you're able to recognize the signs and not necessarily like, oh, I've been touched by an angel. You get what I'm saying? As far as what you're able to recognize in people and situations or areas.
Right. So let's kind of talk a little bit about myself.
Okay.
I am the owner of De La Luna Healing, and I go by Psychic Medium Delia, and I am 6 years ago, I lost my brother. He was murdered. And I've been doing tarot for the past 20 years, but I stopped because I dived into Christianity. I was a born again Christian. But when my brother died, I fell into like this very deep depression. And my brother wasn't saved. He was actually a gang member. And so I went into this very deep depression, and I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, personality disorder. And I was on a lot of medication, and it just numbed me. I hated the person that I was. And so I had to heal myself. And by doing that, I dived into using crystals, to help me release some of that grieving and sadness and hatred that I had in my heart. And I started meditating. And then one day I opened up my book, and it jumped at me like, you're here to uplift others, and you are going to be in touch with the spiritual life. And it all made sense. And then my brother started sending me messages, and I started hearing him. And it was like, oh my God, what is this? So when I say I'm self-taught like him, I would Google stuff. What does it mean when you come across feathers? What does it mean when you come across dimes? And I would ask my brother certain questions, and he'll answer me through a song. And it was always at the same time, 1, 2, 4, 2, 4. And I'll be like, wait, 1 means this, and 2 means this, and 4 means this. And you add it all up, and it all made sense. So yeah, I researched this on my own, and then it was just like, this is my calling. This is what I am meant to be. I healed myself, and I'm here today because I did my own research.
No, but speaking so you said, because that was a question I wanted to say for later, but let's talk about that, because a lot of times it's like taboo when you think about, the researching and what you bring to being a psychic and being a medium and Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked, I'd be like, he'd be like, oh, what did you dream about? And then he'd be like, all right, I'm gonna Google it. And then I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna just talk to God. You know what I'm saying? I'll just say my prayers and whatever is revealed. How do you balance that? Or can that coexist? What you bring in, the insight that you bring into people and the help that you bring in, maybe biblically, can that tie together?
So when I was Christian, I loved the energy that I felt. I felt the Holy Spirit. I had true revelation of who Jesus is, and I've seen miracles happen, through prayer, through the touch. When I stepped out of religion, it was because the brothers and sisters in church were like, well, where your brother is at. He wasn't saved. So I had a hard time believing he's in hell. Hell exists. And even in Bible study, when we go through the Bible, there's a lot of things in there that I was just like, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right. However, spirituality was like, oh my God, yes. It makes so much sense. How did I know that? Numerology taught me that I'm an old soul. Being an old soul, I have this wisdom and this knowledge from past lifetimes. When this lifetime, I wasn't taught this, but somehow I know about it. So I prayed about this. I prayed about it like, Lord, please reveal yourself to me. And I've never had such a deep, intimate connection with God like I do now.
Okay.
So if you were to get a reading by me, I always pray. I start all my readings with prayer. And I believe that this is a gift and a skill that God has given me. But I stepped out of religion because there's just a lot of things in the Bible that are just not like, you shouldn't take it like literal.
Okay.
You know?
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm there.
You know, so yeah, my faith it's great, I have a lot of faith,
Right.
but I also believe, in the spiritual world.
Okay. GQ?
Does that make sense?
No, I got you. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Shit, I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to just analyze the whole thing because I'm trying to like not think anything right now because it's weird because I really truly believe in all that and like as Andrew says, I do a lot of research on it. I always feel I think I want to say I'm emotionally intelligent, but at the same time, I also feel like sometimes I can not predict something that's gonna happen, but maybe because I overthink so much, but I could sometimes see it coming. Or even people like sometimes people call me a jerk because like sometimes I'm like I don't like him, but it's not even that I'm trying to be a jerk about it. It's just something about him doesn't click, and I feel like if there's anything that I could identify as people that I can connect with, or if somebody's like pissed off in the room, I can sense it. Like it's just the energies, but I mean I don't really think much of it, but I'm starting to embrace it more the more I'm more in tune with myself, because now it's not like I'm not just researching it. Now I'm just like understanding it and going on with my life. Like I'm not going to go and be like, I could sense that. Now I'm just kind of like in that, way of just navigating through bullshit, if anything. I mean, like it's weird. And I'm just like listening to you and I'm just like, oh shit. Like this is dope. Right. Like it's a good way of like understanding things in life and being a better person and guiding people, you know what I mean, at the same time, Sure.
So what you're describing is exactly what I went through. You are an empath. That's what it's called, when you feel people's energy and you could understand where they're vibing. And sometimes you might not like someone because they're vibing at a different frequency than you are. What I mean by that, they might be stuck in a place of they're egotistic, they're conceited, they're not kind, they're not compassionate. It's not that you want to judge them. It's just that you're not really clicking because they're vibing. They're not vibing with you while you're at a higher frequency. They're down here. Also, you have to learn how to protect yourself, because if you could feel these energies, a lot of times it'll drain you.
Oh, yeah.
You would carry them with you. Like if you step in a room and someone is just going through they're in a dark place in their life and they're just sad and depressed, you might start feeling it and you might just be like, why do I feel sad? Where is this coming from?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like you're going through a transition, understanding why you're coming across that. And maybe this is your calling, maybe you have a calling like mine to understand, the way energy works and learn how to protect yourself. So at the end, we're not judging those who do vibe at a lower frequency, but we could help them and assist them.
Higher. Like I try to mix it all around, like from religion to, to psychological. Just kind of, I want to be very well balanced in how I think about things, and I just think we all somehow have all these powers because I think we're just a walking energy. You know what I mean? Like we're really a walking energy. We're really nothing if you really think about it. So it's like sometimes it's like interesting to see that, like, you know, some people tap into it, some people don't, you know, and I think that's a way to understand people a little bit more and understand yourself. And to me, I like I said, I just look at it as a gift to not like get stuck in your own bullshit, you know, because I think that's sometimes people don't understand that it's okay to be a jerk, not in a messed up way, right? But it's okay to put boundaries and say like, no, this is not, because having these being mindful about people and their feelings and everything, sometimes that's like manipulative, right? So you have to just kind of find a way to balance it and say like, no, this is not something that I want to like, this is the line where you just don't cross, you know? So
right.
I don't know. I just like all these thoughts are coming in my head right now, like analyzing this shit. Yeah. Like this is cool.
Okay, so there's two things. You hit a lot of notes, but it was like, whoa, wait. Okay. So what I've learned through this process of becoming like a spiritual being, one is that you said we're nothing, we're everything. We're everything, you know, like we matter. And even when you're gone, you still remain everything. Your energy, and energy is everything.
Really?
If there's not energy, how are we going to get light?
So Coco was real then?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. No, I just threw with the Coco references. I had to throw it out there.
Yeah. So another thing is that not all of us are here on the same mission, life path. Some of us are here to kind of explore and learn our lesson through the spiritual path, and some of us are here to learn our lesson in the material world. You know, so like Christians consider themselves not of this world, and they believe that when you die, you live for the Lord, you know, because they're just solely about giving up what the flesh craves and wants. It's the same thing as spirituality, you know, like we're not about gaining material. And there is a balance because, I mean, we all like material stuff, right? But so I kind of believe like when there's fucked up people, don't take it personal because they are on their own mission. They are on their own karmic debt path and on their own lesson. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
But what is your opinion? I mean, because you kind of touched on it in a sense. Sometimes, I mean, just to be honest, I feel like it's a lack of patience, right? So say, for instance, you are a believer. You believe in God. So the first thing you always hear growing up in the church is just pray about it. You know, just pray. Just pray about it, right? And we can all sit here and attest at this table that sometimes you just don't hear nothing back. And you're looking up at the heavens like, yo, you don't hear me talking? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know there's a lot of people out there. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a lot of people, but hey, I'm your boy. Okay? Hey, I really need this. This is not nothing materialistic. This is not nothing selfish. This is going to benefit everybody. And I'm not getting anything back. So when I don't get anything back, what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at my other resources that are available to me. So I ain't gonna say him, for example, but say, for instance, I would tell him like, hey, bro, just pray about it. And he'd be like, bro, because he's very impatient, just as I am, right? He'd be like, bro, no. Hey, I went to go talk to somebody today. And I'm just like, bro, like, so do you see it as, you know, you were impatient, so you look for answers to help deal with your brother? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, look, this is my personal opinion on the whole, oh, he wasn't saved. Because they'll throw that in your face. Oh, he wasn't saved. But your very last breath that you take, I believe you have an opportunity to say, God, save me.
Oh my God.
All right. So this whole like, because I'm just like, dude, I was raised in a church. 7 days a week, I was there. You know what I'm saying? Half of my life I was there. Bible study, mission board, everything. You know, brotherhood, choir rehearsal, everything. I was there. I spent a lot of time. And as I got older, like he said, I started to read. And I started to realize that there are good people out there that necessarily don't believe in what I believe. But sometimes I just have a hard time with thinking that, hey, this person, hey, they're just eternal damnation just because they don't believe what I believe. But I do believe that everybody has an opportunity You know what I'm saying? Because we can say, oh, we spiritual, right? Bet we spiritual. But the difference in between that is my belief, my personal belief in Jesus as my savior. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think that was what caused you out? Because you was, for one, church folks can be pretty harsh, right? And you was hearing that. You was like, yo, I'm not really hearing what y'all saying right now. I want to know what's up with my brother. So what do you think about that?
Okay. You hit a lot of notes. I wish I could like take notes and like okay. Okay, for one. This is going to be very emotional. I was actually one of those people, you know, like a church person. When the doctors came in and gave us the news that my brother didn't make it, I said something that I wish I could take back, and I can't. I had to live with this all my life. I fell to my knees and I said, my brother wasn't saved. He didn't know God. Who the fuck was I to judge that? Who was I to judge that? Second, believe it or not, I cried every day for 2 years, you know, for my brother's passing. I was very patient. And even with the term patient, that is actually a lesson of mine, you know, being a master number 11-2. 11-2 is all about learning tolerance and patience, but we think that it's about material. So I'd seen it different, like, I got to be patient now and live long. And do I get to see my brother again? Third, I was able to kind of live my brother's last moments one time when I was just deep in my grief and I was crying, and I relived my brother's last moments where he's sitting in the car and, you know, I'm feeling everything. I'm hearing this music he's listening to, my hands like on the steering wheel, and I feel it. It's like an out-of-body experience where I feel it. I see the car pulling up, and I felt when he got shot, and I felt the pain in my chest and my arm. I literally felt it. And I was able to just kind of see his last moments and even, you know, see what he saw. And when before he took his last breath, he said, God be with me. So I started crying. I'm bawling like, oh my God, who was I to judge and say that my brother wasn't saved, that he didn't go with God? So that's when I was like, this is out of the world. This is something so spiritual. I didn't ask to have this vision. It all came to me. So I was very patient in the way that this was revealed to me. You know, I didn't dive into, you know, like, let's go into reading tarot cards and numerology again because God abandoned me. No, it actually took place when I actually was crying onto God, like, God, what is my mission? What is my life path? I mean, what is my destiny? I'm lost. I'm a nobody. I'm broken. I'm in the dark. Please help me. Help me. So already knowing that I'm connected to spirit, already knowing that my brother is alive and that he was saved and that there is heaven, you know, that there is life after death. It was just so exciting when I opened this book and it jumped at me like, you've gone through this for a reason. Your brother's death wasn't in vain. All this suffering, all this crying that you've done, it's not in vain. There's a purpose behind it. So my purpose was my brother's alive. And if I could connect with other spirits and bring healing to someone that lost their loved ones and shine light on their path, that's what I'm destined to do. So I embraced that. But I was very patient. Like, you just don't know. Like,
no, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't taking a jab at you.
No. Yeah, you know, because people, like, it was. So I've always been like bubbly and outgoing, and, you know, just like, hey, and people were just like telling me, who are you? You changed. Like, I just wasn't talking. I was smoking like 10 to 15 blunts a day. Word. You know, like, it was just like, I'll wake up and just be high. And I was just like, fuck the world. I don't want to fuck with you guys. I'll be like in the middle of anything. And it would just be like me and my thoughts like, Alex. I was just like, just stuck, you know, and people were just like, who are you? You know, and it took a long time for me to realize who I was and why I went through that darkness. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes sense.
Just hearing you talk about it, it makes sense. Like, I don't know, like, it's just deep.
Yeah, it's very deep. Just like a 2-episode thing.
I know. Yeah, you know, so like when people tell me like what you're doing is not godly, it's just like, okay.
I mean, but I feel like
I
you went
love the
about it.
Lord and God is with me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I feel God, you know, and I feel like Jesus is a messenger, and I pray on the Holy Spirit, and I have an amazing connection with God, with Jesus, but God is just like higher power. It's just like this energy. It's just everything. You know, so being spiritual and doing the tarot cards and numerology and mediumship does not define my relationship with God. God is real. You can never separate life and God.
For sure.
So I got a good question. Seeing all this, like, you know, all these powers and everything, how do you like guide yourself to be prosperous? I think isn't there because I mean, let's be real here.
Yeah.
Like to me, I truly believe that. Yes,
There's another one.
you can pray. You can pray and you can say, "Hey, God, help me this, help me that." But sometimes it requires course of action, right?
Yes,
Yeah, but
amen. Okay, like you said, patience. I learned that, for one, the law of attraction. The law of attraction is so real.
The secret.
You want to, the secret, that's
The
where I
secret.
learned
The
the law of
secret.
attraction.
You haven't
You
seen
know,
The
like
Secret,
you
huh?
have to vision it, and you have to have like this loving energy towards it and believe that is yours. And, you know, so I do full moon rituals. I do new moon rituals where I like write down my desires and I release everything. And a part of being patient is learning to release and give up control. Like you just have to, because you can't have high expectations. And when you go back and then you read, you know, everything that you want, and then you manifest it, you create magic. It's just like, whoa, like I did this. And there's some things that, you know, I've tried to manifest and it's just not my time. And it's just like, okay, it's going to fall into place. Divine timing. So that's what I go by now. You know, that is just divine timing, giving up the control. You know, like I am not in charge of what happens. I could only hope for the best and try attract by putting in my effort and my action and believing it and staying positive. And when obstacles and challenges come my way, learning from it and growing from it.
In my defense, okay, so because I pray about everything.
We had this debate.
So, yes, I pray about everything. But see, I'm not one that believe. If you are spiritual, if God is what you believe in, and Jesus being his son, it's not a genie in a bottle type thing. I don't get on my knees, pray, and expect, poof, here it goes, right? So one thing that we always taught in church and in the Bible is faith without works is dead. So I don't expect to be prosperous if I'm not putting any action behind my dream, behind my goal. You get what I'm saying? So he be like, maybe someone else in his life he has that problem with, but not me. I just want to clarify that to everybody. All right, I'm not sitting here like, God, you know what I'm saying? I want to be financially independent, but I'm sitting here on my couch every day.
I do.
Right.
But I'm not
doing
sitting on my
anything.
couch.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though. So like, you know, I do believe in prayer, but I don't believe like it's I got 3 wishes, so I pray. No, I have to put work behind in anything. It can be non-religious, just life in general. If you want to attain something in this life, you're gonna have to put the work in.
Okay, but this is the part that it okay. Let's put the scenario of being, let's just say there is a genie, right? And that you can actually have 3 wishes, right? You could wish happiness, right? But just happiness has so many different outlets, right? So you don't really know what you're really wishing for. Or you could wish success, but then that means that you might not have happiness, you know? So I think that's the part where this is why I this is why I tell you one specific, I just want a helicopter, big deal. You know what I mean? Like, let's just, you know what I mean? Like simplify it, because regardless of how you think of things, you're here to serve others and you're going to suffer. So buckle up. That's all I could think of. You know what I mean? Right. I just think that I don't want to be forgotten when I'm dead. So I'm going to go and do some sort of impact in people. And maybe it's not going to be like people that I know or people that that I'm close to, but it's just me going out there and doing the right thing because we're here to serve. We're not here for ourselves, but obviously in the process of it, I would like to fly private,
Right.
and then just be in a helicopter. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, we are here for ourselves. We're here to grow as a human being and a spiritual being. You
in a helicopter, I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm down.
We're here to serve, but you got to see it as duality. There's always that yin and the yang.
Yes.
So yeah, we are definitely here for ourselves.
Can you elaborate on the yin and the yang so I think our audience can hear that? Like I think
Oh, I wish I knew a lot more. So, from my understanding, is you have a feminine energy, masculine energy. You have light and you have dark. You have good and you have bad, and you have to learn how to bring a balance to that. Understand that wherever there's darkness, there's going to be light. The yin and the yang. I believe that's like an Asian thing. Like I said, I wish I was a lot more knowledgeable about that, but I just see it like that. Whenever you have an up, you're gonna have a down.
so. Let me ask you something, and I think this is something that our audience is gonna definitely like. We all have dark moments. So, how is it that, in your opinion, how to handle these energies that are like heavy at the time?
So you have to understand that beautiful things happen in the dark. Plants, when you plant the seed, they're in the dark. It takes water for it to rise and blossom. So dark moments they're gonna build you, they're gonna mold you. In dark times, we all need them in our life. To just understand that we could transform through that and become the light. Never take a dark moment for granted.
It's all a teachable moment, a learning experience.
Exactly.
But I think it's getting out of the dark thing. 'cause I
You
think
don't
that-
want to
that-
get stuck. You don't want to get stuck. You have to just feel it, understand why you're there, and then, make a conscious decision to say, okay, I am going to come out of this stronger. There's a lot of dark moments for many of us.
Yeah, no. There's like a technique that I've been using, and I think this is gonna be good for all the audience. Is like I always, and this is part of me, working on myself and improving myself. I've taken therapy and all that, and one of the things that has been very effective to kind of put a stop into negative moments is like first acknowledge 3 positive things about yourself, right? Whether it's you're resilient, you're smart, or whatever, right? So when you're having a dark moment and you're just really in deep shit, right? Tell yourself stop, right? Stop. Take a couple take like 3 breaths, deep breath, and just basically just how do I explain it? Just try to connect with yourself, right? In that little moment, and then tell yourself those 3 positive things. Because now your brain just switch. Like you're basically finding a way to stop that negative energy at its root.
Exactly.
And it's been working. I mean, it seems kind of silly when it was taught to me. Well, I mean, a lot of people don't really believe in that, right? But I mean, I didn't believe in it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I didn't believe it until I told myself, I was like, "Shit, stop!" And then I was just like, and then I just started doing it, and it actually worked. And I was like, "Oh shit,"
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But I just think that like, especially on the whole spiritual side, I think it's good to have a little bit of pointers of how like people can connect with that moment and how to navigate through it, right?
Exactly.
So I think that's the part where I feel like you would have a lot more insight on that, especially, knowing what you know.
Right. So I do have, like, say, for instance, a lot of clients that do, come to me and they want to know, like, did someone put a spell on me? I have so much bad luck. And it's fine and dandy for us to say 3 great things about us. But what about the shadow work? What about calling yourself out and really seeing what dark you carry within? Like you have to tell yourself, why am I here? I'm not compassionate. I'm not kind. And I take people for granted. you got to call yourself out. And you have to make the decisions. Okay, for now on, I'm going to release this, this need to be in compassion, not compassionate. I'm going to change that by accepting myself and loving me a little bit more. So being in the positive is all good. It's amazing because you're training your brain to think differently, and then you are raising your vibration, but you don't want to ignore what got you here in the first place.
Right.
So a lot of times when clients come to me, I help them take accountability for their situation. Well, why are you here? It's not someone else. Like the law of attraction. You're attracting what you are. If you continually attract negative things, you're a negative person. So we have to try to change that. We are responsible for raising our own vibration. No one's going to do it for us. So that's where I come in, and I could feel your energy and, connect with your spirit guide. And your spirit guide would tell me, well, he needs to work on this. He needs to work on that. I will never tell you what to do. It's your decision if you want to do it. And then, once I could look into your future, I'll say in 2 years, you might be in the same place. So if you don't want to be in the same place, change it right now. Or it could be like in 2 years, you could be here. But if you're continue to be stuck in here, like these are your abilities. These are the opportunities that are going to come your way. But have you guys ever heard that saying? You could take the horse to the water, but you cannot make the horse drink it. So it's like what I do.
For sure. Okay, I got one for you. So speaking of during your sessions, what are you ever frightened by what you reveal in someone? Maybe something in their background, maybe something that they personally did. Like you be like, yo, like I'm sitting across the table from a natural Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like revealing during one of your sessions, have you ever become frightened by what you see?
Not really. It frightens me the way they're going to take it. It's not frightening though. I ain't scared. I ain't never scared.
I got my Glock.
From my leg.
I got my 45 on my waist.
That concealed weapons permit. Nah, it's good.
There's been 2 times where, like, say for instance, I was scared for my client when she was, she just wanted to know about her love life. Like, am I gonna meet the one? And it's like, yo, you got to take care of your health. If you don't take care of your health, there's not going to be no loved one. There's not going to be no soulmate. And then a week later, she had a stroke. Whoa. So I was scared scared not to deliver the news, but scared that she wasn't going to take care of it. And she didn't take care of it. And there's another time where a couple came in and I had to tell them, look, if you guys are doing something, that you don't want each other to know about, it's going to come up. Are you sure you want this reading together? And they're like, yeah. And it's like, okay. It's like,
well, that was
she's
awkward,
pregnant,
right?
But you also have another baby on the way, so the girl was just like, and that was kind of scary for me, because I don't want to hurt.
Baby, though?
It was, for
okay.
sure. Like, it came up, like,
I thought they was both, like.
No, and he admitted
like
it.
She got pregnant by somebody else, and he got a baby.
No. She was pregnant by him, and then he had another baby on the way from someone else. So I was just scared to hurt, homegirl's feelings, because I am human, and I just,
You're like, I'm gonna be part of a domestic violence.
I hate those kind of readings. I hate them. I hate relationship readings.
That's tough.
And in your experience, like, what do if you had to like tally it up, what do most people come to you for? Like in relationships, finances, the afterlife. What would you say is the most common thing? It's
pretty well balanced because I do, like numerology, where people come to me to understand their path, to kind of get a general reading so I could shine light on, their path and help them remove that stagnant energy and, kind of clear the way for them. I don't clear the way for them, but, then I get, people that need healing, that want to connect with the loved one. So I get everything. Yeah, I get everything. It's not just, just one. Yeah.
I think, okay. I think most, I ain't gonna say most people because I'm talking about me. I think, like you said, like when you get these people and you got to pretty much have them take accountability and you're going to reveal some things. Like, I think if people are afraid of going to talk to someone like you is because it's kind of like the doctor, right? So my wife would be like, yo, you need to go to the doctor and get checked up. For me, I'm like, I'd rather not know.
Oh yeah,
I'm just keeping.
I get
it
a
real.
lot of those. So
I'd rather not
yeah,
know.
so I do a lot of pop-ups, you know, where the client can just come and get a reading, and I have a lot of people saying, I'm scared, and they get a 15-minute reading, and then they're like, I want more. Of course, a lot of people don't like what they hear when it's like, you know, their spirit guide calling them out, you know, like, you have this much potential, but you're stuck here. Stop procrastinating. Some people want to hear that because I'm not telling them nothing they don't already know, right. But it feels good, you know, hearing it from someone, you know, that's telling them you have this much potential. These doors are opened, you know. Then you have these clients. I really don't get a lot of these kind of clients that walk away disappointed. I really don't get those. I get those like when a girl is stuck on a guy, and then I'm like telling her like, look, he's just abusive. He's not the one for you. You gotta run. You have to. And they're like, no, but he told me he loved me. And it's like, no. And then later on after the session, they're like, oh, it all makes sense because he doesn't love me and he said this about me. He treats me this way and that way. And it's like, I told you you were getting treated like that. And they still leave unhappy because they want to hear, stay.
Damn.
Because never mind. Because
go ahead.
That kind of that takes me back to what I was saying about the lack of patience, because you're not hearing what you want to hear. So it can be the opposite way, right? So it can be like, yo, I'm praying to God. I want an answer. I want a solution to this problem, right? And God is giving you that. And because it's not what you want to hear, let me go talk to a psychic. Let me go talk, because you know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna tell me what I want to hear. If it's not you, God, then I'm holler at. You know.
I do have those. Like, a lot of people come to me and they're so adamant to learn about know about the future, and I'm not so much about the future. I could make amazing predictions, but it's like, let's talk about the now, because if you don't if you don't acknowledge what's in front of you now, and if we don't talk about the moment, tomorrow's never promised. You know, so I do have those, you know, clients that they call me like, what's going to happen next month? And it's like, girl, you're going through something right now that you need to take care of. Let's be patient. Let's not try to go there. Let's talk about now. And they're like, no, I don't want to talk about now. I want to talk about the future, 2, 3, 5 years from now, 10 years.
So let me ask you this. And it can go both ways, right? You could either find it lucrative and like just tell them what they want to hear, or you could actually like tell them the reality. Which one do you choose? Like, because I mean, there's an inflation. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? If they're gonna take up your time, like,
you know what? Pay. Like, unfortunately, it's not even working with integrity, but I just consider myself like, and it's not even that I consider myself a real person. I'm just gonna tell it like it is.
Right.
That's all. If you don't like it, that's up to you. But I am not going to live with like, dang, I told her something that she wanted to hear and even like that. It's like, I'm going to tell you what you have to hear. Again, I'm connecting with your spirit guide. I'm not making this shit up.
Damn. Shut. That was deep.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to see them tomorrow in the next year or 2 years. So.
Okay. So my follow-up question is how are you able to turn it off? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a family get together.
You take a shot or something?
You know what I'm saying?
No, I love that question.
Smoke some weed or something?
I step in a room and all I'm hearing, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, come here. Let me talk to you for a second. You know, like how are you able to turn it off? Or is that even an issue with you or a problem?
Yeah. So in the beginning, I was just so excited about connecting with people and telling them about themselves. But because I do it now professionally, you know, there's a time and place for this to take place. And so I had to set my boundaries. You could definitely turn it off, and you turn it off by, you know, just respecting people's privacy, understanding that there's a boundary. Some people are not asking for this kind of advice. So don't give it to them because your advice is valuable, you know, and if they don't want to hear it, they're not coming to you. And there has been times where spirit just brings certain people, you know, that need some advice, and then it'll just come up like, oh yeah, I'm a psychic medium. And they're like, oh, I'm going through this and da-da-da. And that's when I'm able to connect with them. But I have some boundaries. I don't cross them unless someone really needs it. Then I don't charge for this guidance I'm going to provide or for connecting you with your loved one. It's just going to come out organically and natural. But I don't look for, you know, I don't go out there like, oh my God, he's such a bad person. I see this happening to him and I see that happen to, I don't. Like when I do feel that energy, I just stay away.
Let me put a highlighter on him.
Yeah. But I do get a lot of those, you know, where a lot of people that are new to this journey, they come and they're just so open to the energy and they're just like, and it's just like, you have to draw some boundaries because some people don't like that. Not everyone is going to receive the message. So don't go out giving it if they're not asking for it.
Facts.
You got that?
Yeah. Hey, I'm just saying. I like to talk shit. I'm sorry. But not. I'm not sorry.
So a question I have for you as well is, someone with your abilities, who do you go to?
My sister.
What?
Is she older or younger?
Yeah, like
she's older, so
2.0. So
I actually taught her.
Oh shit.
Her and I have like this amazing connection, you know. I don't want to say like she's not on my level, but I do this professionally. You know, this is, you know, how I generate my income, you know, and my business is, you know, depend on this. She's doing it to serve others, you know, and she's very new to this. I've been doing it for 20 years. She's been doing it for 3 to 4, but she is amazing. She's just like, I come to her, you know, like, sis, I did my reading, but, you know, I could always manipulate what I see, you know, and it's just kind of like, I need someone to kind of tell me exactly you're wrong or this is gonna, yeah, you know. So I go to my sister. She's just amazing, you know. She's a little bit better than me. She is.
She gonna hear it now.
I know.
That's crazy. And you introduced her to?
I did. Well, I did her numerology and I was just like, whoa, we share the same light path and master number. You're as sensitive as I am. And she's like, wait a minute, it all makes sense because I hear brother too. I feel people's energy too. So it's like, oh sis, you know, you have these abilities as well. But she went on and did her own research. She went on and got educated herself. Like I didn't teach her everything she knows. She did the homework on her own, you know? So when she came back and I was just like, what? Like, how do you know this? You know? So yeah, I just kind of shined light on her light path, you know, and that this was her calling and her purpose. And she, you know, she took it from there.
What books would you recommend, like, for someone who wanted to get to just be more aware of their surroundings? What's a starter book?
It's so funny because my husband laughs at me. You know, I told you I'm like slow, you know? So like I read the Idiot's book. Like, you know how you have like the
for dummies.
For dummies.
Right.
Well, I like the Idiots. It's just, it gets right to the point. They don't use like big old words. So it's like I have numerology for idiots, tarot for idiots. I definitely love the Law of Attraction, The Secret, Magic. I think there's 3 different ones, and I believe it's Rhonda Bynes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then, you know, just like do Google search. Google's everything.
That's this guy.
I'm not gonna lie. I definitely, like I said, I want answers. You know? And yeah, I think we all have common sense, so I just connect the dots. You know, and sometimes things seem credible, and then some other things you're like, okay, like you have to lie to yourself.
Yeah.
Believe it that's true, and then go on with your life.
For someone who may be like, feeling like maybe what you consider a gift, they're afraid of, right? What would you advise? What advice would you have for someone who'd be like, I want to keep this to myself because I'm afraid of how I will be perceived by family, friends, community, society. What would you suggest for them to do?
So there's a lot of people that I know that have this gift from many past lifetimes, and it's just not, their purpose this lifetime, so they could turn it off. But if it's your purpose, then I'll just really kind of suggest just meditate, pray on it, and don't be afraid because it's just such a beautiful thing. Just think about how many people you could heal, how many lives you can change, and the healing that would take place within you, and stop worrying about what people think about you. Because you do good, people judge. You do bad, people judge. So don't give a fuck. People are going to talk regardless.
You were so LA.
They're just going to, I know, I'm so sorry. Like, they're just going to talk regardless, so just don't be afraid. It's a beautiful thing. I always say this, never be afraid of spirit. Spirit can never hurt you. It's humans that could hurt you. Is your dad, your uncle, friends that could, bring some harm. But spirit
your
can
aunties
never.
too, because you did all male figures right there. We want to keep this fair.
Mama,
there we go.
Yeah. So sorry. Didn't do that. I am in front of all these males. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Numbers. You're driving down the street, you see us, like, how does it stand out to you? Like, because it's not everything. Like, every number, because he, like,
Angel numbers?
some, like, maybe just like.
He honestly, sometimes I feel like he doesn't want to answer my call because I'm going to tell him, like, oh, shit, I saw this, and I connect 1, 2, and 3, and then he's like, bro, I'm at work right now. Call you back.
But, like, no, but, like, so. Are there some good number sequences out there that you want to see? I'm just curious.
I feel you. Just because, like, my page, I try to make it very educational, and I'll post something like angel numbers. Numbers are everything. When you see 1111 or 2222 or 3333, it means this. And this is a time where find some enlightenment, find some direction in your life. And then, like, a minute after, I'm sorry, people, my followers, but this is real. A minute later, I'll get a message like, what does 222 mean? And I'm just like, just Google it or just go to my page. It says it right there. But yes, numbers are very powerful. And I definitely recommend everyone to learn numerology. Is very easy, very basic. And you can understand what certain numbers mean.
Do you have a favorite? You have a favorite set? Do you want to share that, or is that secret?
11-2, which is my master number. 11 being the number of an old soul and a messenger. Jesus had it. He was actually a 33 as well. So my favorite number is 11. 11 and 222. I love 11 too.
This is dope.
23, shout out 23. Like,
what's one? Yeah. So in numerology, you want to break it down to a single digit, and 23 is 5. And I also have that in my life path. Yeah. When's your birthday?
October 23.
Oh, okay. So you're 5. What about you?
Well, my birthday?
Yeah.
27th.
You're 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Cool.
You're scaring me right now.
Do you want to know a little bit about yourself?
No.
Hey, we kind of thought about that. We were like, no, we would like a caller to call later or something. But yeah, we try to come in here with a blank mind. Like, you can't read shit. Like,
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Definitely feel you. Feel you.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
We're not gonna reverse Uno on ourselves, Like, no.
But you said that you had the ability, like, you predicted something to happen,
all the time.
Give me a good positive thing that you saw. You know what I'm saying? You was like, dude, I caught this years ago and it happened, and this person, this situation, or whatever it is. Like, is there a moment that stands out to you? Like, dang, I saw this.
Oh, it's just so many, but my favorite one is I got I don't remember some of my readings. I do so many, but a client sent me a picture of a key. And I was like, okay. And she said, when you connected with my grandmother was showing you this key. And I just want to let you know that I got my own business. I started my own business, you know, like, and I didn't see it happening at the moment when you told me. Grandma is holding up a key. She was lost. Like, what? What does that key mean? And then 2 months later, it all made sense to her when she was giving that key, you know, to her own establishment. So at the time, she wasn't even planning to open up her own business, you know. So that was just like, wow, that's amazing. Like, I told her there's so much potential and there's just new beginnings for you. So that's one of my most favorite positive one.
Dope. GQ Nestor, you got anything?
Shit,
You're just soaking this up right now.
I'm speechless because, yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's change it up a little bit. So, all right, got a hypothetical question for you, right? So you have a celebrity chauffeur. Who would it be, and where would you want him or her to take you?
It gotta be Pac. It gotta be Tupac.
For real?
For sure.
Okay.
Like, I even got chills. Like, yes, Tupac. Yeah, for sure.
Where y'all going?
To the coast. We're just gonna drive down the coast.
Why Tupac?
Tupac is just so deep, so real. I just want to get in that mind. Like, you know, how do you feel about this? And I just feel like that connection, what he talks about is just so raw and so real. And he's just someone that I've always connected with during my dark times. You know, when I listen to Pac, I think of my brother, you know, and I've always loved Pac, you know, just, you know, that suffering that, you know, he talks about and he went through, and then that enlightenment, that hope, you know, and he kept it real.
Let's talk about your playlist, right? First thing, positive, good morning, woke up on the right side of the bed. Who you turning on? What you listening to?
Boney James.
Boney James, okay. Okay.
Jazz.
I know what that is. Feel like I'ma just say it just in case. I know who Boney James is.
Yes.
Right. Thanks to my dad. But yeah, I definitely know who that is. All right.
Nice.
So when you want to get hyped, you about to go to the club, what we listening to? I'm not saying okay, no. Answer.
So there's two. There's like Bad Bunny, you
Okay.
know, like hey, you know, and then probably like some Drake.
Drake.
Yeah, I love Drake.
So like you turning up and then like you out here like just having a good time and you're like, damn, this motherfucker got a badass energy. Like you know, swinging by. Like, have you ever caught yourself like in the middle of a middle of like you having fun and then you seen somebody just their energy just seems like shit.
Like this dark shadow.
Yeah.
Just follows them. In a sense, figurative.
It's kind of more like when I'm interacting with someone. You know, where like I'm just interacting with someone is
And
like,
then
yeah, like I feel it.
okay,
Yeah,
so
and
it's not
like,
just the aura that it's more like
yeah, I need like more of that interaction.
okay. Oh shit. Yeah. Because I was gonna be like, damn, like imagine like you're over here turning up, having a good time, and then you just see somebody, you're just like, damn, like
I'm married, so I can't, you know, like be looking.
No. But I'm just saying, just a random negativity, just walking.
Oh,
man.
negativity.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said like, oh yeah,
Wait,
for
wait.
sure.
No, not a baddie. Like no.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
No.
He's not a baddie.
I can't do that.
I'm like, look.
Hold on, it was a switch from Bad Bunny. Like, yeah,
So sorry. So sorry. I told you.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, for sure. For sure. There has been many times, you know, where like I'm just talking and someone just come in and it's like this heavy energy and it's just like, I don't feel good, you know, and then minutes will go by and then they'll do something stupid and it's like, yeah, let's just stay away. I'm not feeling this person. I'm not feeling their energy. I need to go.
See,
Yeah, for sure.
At first, you think it's acid reflux. You know what I mean? Like you
need
feel
some
like it's
Tums?
yeah, and then later on you're like, nah, you know, I just ate some Tums. I'm good. Like this
Yeah,
person's just
for
deep.
sure.
Yeah.
What is the what would you say is the craziest thing you ever walked in on?
A ghost in my office.
For real. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So I don't see ghosts, you know, and when I do connect with people who have departed or transitioned, it's just, you know, through a reading. I invite them in and I pray. But I'm moving, and I just finished telling one of my friends, like, yeah, I don't connect with like stuck spirits. I don't even know if I believe in them. I don't know if I believe in ghosts. But I am like, I moved into my office and they warned me about like some homeless people, you know. So my sister and I hear footsteps, you know, down the hallway. And I'm like, wait, did you hear that? So I run out, like, I'm waiting to see a homeless person, right? And I'm like, but it's like no homeless there. So I go back in the room and then you hear these footsteps again. I feel the energy. And my sister and I looked at each other and we're like, that's a spirit. That is a spirit. And then my husband comes and I'm like telling him, yo, there's a spirit here. And he's like, no, ain't no spirit. I'm like, yeah, there is a spirit here. And he's like, well, what is he telling you? I'm like, he's not saying anything, but it's a heavy energy. And then his phone starts going crazy. His phone is like, enter your passcode because face recognition cannot recognize the face or something. And then my sister and I were like, yeah, that's a spirit. And so I reached out to the owner and I'm like, why didn't you tell me there's spirit activity here? And she said, oh yeah, someone killed himself here. And I was just like, but that's just like as scary as it gets.
Oh shit.
Word.
But now it loves hanging out in my office.
What do you mean it loves it? What?
Yeah.
So like you say like, oh, see you later. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, like some crazy stuff happened. I was running late and I'm like thinking the day before I left all my lights off. I turned every light off. I closed my door and then I'm like, wait a minute. And I opened my door and everything was off. I have like some battery candles, right? And the next day I'm like driving, I'm like thinking, how cool for this ghost to help me and just have everything on for me, you know? And I get there and all the lights were on and yeah. And I was like, thank you, spirit. Thank you, ghost.
You didn't check like the cabinets and the like closets or anything
I felt it.
Oh, really?
I feel it, yeah. And I even asked her, like, do you need help crossing over? And they're like, no, I'm okay. I know that's gonna sound
No. So have you ever heard of what's called a hag ride?
A what? A hag ride?
They call it sleep paralysis. So it's happened to me like a lot, you know, when I was younger, teenage years. But what they say is like you're fully awake in your bed, but you feel like somebody is holding you down.
Oh yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so when we are resting, our spirit, you know, goes into a different dimension and it's just having a hard time coming back.
Okay.
What about like when you feel like you're just getting pulled down?
That's again like
The
your
same thing?
spirit. Yeah. Or it could be a heavy energy.
Oh shit.
Heavy. So before you go to sleep, always pray.
Bingo. Gotcha. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to like the conclusion of our show. This has been an amazing time. Thank you for being here, Delia.
100%.
You're welcome. Thank you for the invite.
Most def. Before I even do my little normal thing, where can people find you? Give out your social media handles, your businesses. How can we get in contact?
Okay. So I do have a website, but I've been so busy. It's not like it's up, but it's not up. www.delalunahealing. Instagram is psychic_medium_Delia. DELIA.
For sure. But like I said, I always open up the microphones and the tables to our guests and to the other half of the show, GQ Nesto, to leave the listeners, the viewers, with any parting words. GQ Nesto, we start with you today.
Shit, get an update. I mean, get Delia on this. I mean, I think things happen for a reason. I think there's always a way to connect the dots, and sometimes our answers are staring in our face, and we just sometimes need that push, or sometimes we just need to get enlightened and do research. But yeah, I mean, don't ignore the signs. That's all I could
For
say.
sure. They're everywhere.
And Delia, is there anything you would like to share?
I just like to thank you guys for the opportunity. And I wish you guys well. When you guys need a reading, come to me.
Say less. Say less.
I would say it's one thing that stood out to me when we're going through adversity, the yin, the yang, that's just life, right? So how you said it kind of reminds me of when your parents or someone close to you say, hey, stop, take a deep breath, breathe it in, breathe it out. I would recommend something that was taught to me during my time in the military. It's called Hunt the Good Stuff, right? So Hunt the Good Stuff is think about 3 positive things that has happened in your life, 3 positive things that you personally have in your repertoire, all right? Because it's not all bad. You just gotta find that light, even in the darkest moments. But we thank you guys for tuning in today. That's enough of that. I'm your boy Drew, Option Forward Podcast. We out. See y'all next time. Peace.
Thank you.